talking about makeup brushes, I wanted to add this to my Beauty Basics series because, ladies, if you want to look good, you gotta have the right tools to get you there. Like when I meet a guy that's obsessed with tools or that's always talking about his tools or that owns like 15 tools that essentially do the exact same thing, I'm like, dude, I don't judge you. Like, I get it. I feel the same way about my tools. Makeup brushes are a lot more important than people make them out to be. I have found that with all my clients when we're going through their makeup that almost always they're lacking in brushes. So I wanted to make this video to show my top 10 essential makeup brushes that I think everyone should own. Now, before we begin, I just wanted to say a couple things. First of all, if you have 4 brushes and they're getting the job done for you, like that's awesome, good for you. But something that I really like to tell my clients is you have to think about first quality. You could buy the most expensive foundation on the planet, but if you're putting it on with a brush that's shedding and that's gonna leave streaks on your face, you might as well not even bought the good foundation in the first place. So quality really does make a difference. And along with quality, quantity also matters as well. You have to think about makeup as art. You're doing a work of art on your face. You're contouring, you're shading, you're bringing out your best features, and you wouldn't expect someone to like create something beautiful with one paintbrush or paintbrushes that were all the same size. You need brushes that create harsh lines, brushes that blend everything out. You need different brushes to create different looks. So again, I'm just gonna show you my top 10 brushes that I think everyone should own. Every brush that I talk about in this video is going to be linked below, and there will be more up-close pictures and descriptions on my blog as well. I have in each category a few different examples depending on your preference, your face shape, all that kind of stuff. So let's get started. First, you need a foundation brush if you wear liquid foundation. Clearly you can tell flat top kabuki brushes are my favorite. This one is from Makeup Geek and it is an oldie but a goodie. It is one of my favorite makeup brushes. The thing I love about flat top kabukis is you really can just get in there and rub your foundation into your skin to help everything look more natural. So this one is a really great one. You can get it off. Look, it's even breaking. You can see that. It's been very loved. But you can get it off the Makeup Geek site. The most popular flat top kabuki brush on YouTube is obviously the Sigma F80, and I don't know if you can see, but he's shedding like crazy. This one is literally the best brush. The bristles are just perfectly dense. It is really gonna make your foundation look perfectly flawless. But in his absence, since he is shedding, I have been using the Expert Face brush from Real Techniques. This one is the cheaper alternative than those others, much cheaper, and it really does do just as good of a job. These flat top kabukis really help you to rub the foundation into your skin to help it look very natural. Next, you're gonna want a brush to set your under eye concealer. I saw these as so unnecessary for the longest time. I just was thinking, I'm not gonna spend extra money to get a brush specifically for under my eyes. But girl, like I am so glad that I did because these make a huge difference. This one is my all-time favorite. It is the Sigma F35, the tapered highlighter brush. Really does just go perfectly right under that under eye area. I also use these tapered highlighter brushes to do my T-zone and maybe like my chin. It really does make a difference. My second favorite is from Zoeva. It is the 105 Luxe Highlight. It really does just pack on the product beautifully. It's small, it works great. And the inexpensive alternative to that is the Real Techniques setting brush. It doesn't blend out near as well as the other two more expensive kind, but if you're on a budget, this one works awesome. Third, we're going to talk about blush brushes. You all know I have a small obsession with blushes and obviously blush brushes as well. And the reason I have so many is because I wear different kinds of blush every day. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to wash my brushes every single day. If you only do have one blush brush, you want to make sure that you're washing it almost every day or every time you change your blush color, because if you're using like a bright orange blush and then the next day you want to go with a more pale pink softer look, you put that on, the color is going to change because of whatever product was left on the brush. This one is my all-time favorite. It's the MAC 129, just their normal blush brush. It is perfect size for my giant cheeks and it really does blend the product out really well. If you have a bit smaller cheeks, I highly suggest the 127, the Luxe Sheer Cheek from Zoeva. Luxe Sheer Cheek from Zoeva, that's a mouthful. This is just a little bit smaller. I like using this on my clients because not many people have as big as cheeks as me and I can really get in there and be more precise. And another brush that I really love is the blush brush from BH Cosmetics. If you're looking for an inexpensive alternative, this one is like a fifth of the price of all the others. Moving on to number 4, you need some sort of brush to do contouring or bronzing with. This blush brush that I just mentioned from BH Cosmetics is one of my favorite brushes to contour with because it is so dense. It really does just get right in the hollows of your cheeks, or creates hollows in your cheeks if you don't have cheekbones like me. And it really is just a high quality product for a very, very cheap price. Another thing I really like if you're not doing contouring is the Real Techniques blush brush. It is perfect for just bronzing up your forehead, bronzing your cheek, your neck, wherever you want to look like you have that glow. But my number 1 brush for contouring, and I didn't even want to put this in there because this thing is so expensive, it's the NARS Ida brush. ITA, I don't know how to say it. I'm pretty sure it's the Ida brush. This thing has changed my life. First of all, I couldn't even get it for like a year because it was sold out every time I went on. But second, I think even if it wasn't sold out, I wouldn't have let myself buy it because it's so expensive, and I thought it cannot make that much of a difference. And I was using other brushes that were shaped flat like this to do my contouring. But as soon as I broke down and got this, I am telling you, it is worth every penny. There is nothing better if you're into contouring, or if you're struggling contouring. This brush will change your life. The last face brush that I suggest you have is one for all over powder. This is the Sigma F20, the large powder brush. This is my all-time favorite. And I also really like the one from BH Cosmetics, just the normal powder brush. Again, it's a super cheap alternative and one that actually will do the job, even though it was not very expensive. Moving on to eye brushes, my favorite eye brush is the blending brush. This is the one that you're gonna do in your crease to do that transition color. These need to be fluffy and long and really help blend that color out. My favorite is the MAC 224 tapered blending brush. It just fits perfectly in your crease and helps blend everything out, makes everything very, very beautiful. There are lots of different kinds of blending brushes, but this is one of the most important tools you can have. The next eye brush I think is important to have is a crease brush. I know that we just talked about a blending brush and that does go in your crease, but this is gonna be a little bit more dense and defined to really get in your crease just a little bit more and not blend color out near as much. I love this 227, the Luxe Soft Definer from Zoeva, and I also really love these 2 crease brushes from Makeup Geek. These aren't near as fluffy as a crease brush. These are going to help your color get a little bit more defined. It's still going to do a great job of blending, but it is not going to blend as much. This is going to help you put a little bit more intense color in your crease. Next is one of my favorite makeup brushes, if you couldn't tell by the wide selection I have here. I couldn't decide on which ones were my favorite. But this is for an all-over lid color, and I suggest having a couple of these because it's like blush. Maybe you do just own one brush and maybe you used bright orange on it and the next day you want to use cream. You're gonna have to wash your brush every day and nobody's got time for that. So I suggest having at least a couple of these. My all-time favorite is the Sigma I don't know any of these numbers, I can never tell. It's the Sigma E20 short shader. This is my favorite. It really packs on the color and just makes your eyeshadow very vibrant. I also love the 226 smudger from Zoeva, and my other 2 favorites are probably the 232 and 234 from Zoeva, the Classic shader and Luxe Smoky shader. Again, these are all doing essentially the same thing. They're dense and they're really gonna pack on the color. And you wanna consider the size that you're buying as well, because every size is gonna do something a little bit different. A small brush is really going to be good for detail work. I use this for my inner corner of my tear duct or right underneath my brow bone. And then I'll use something that's a little bit bigger to do an all over lid color. You can get away with just having one if you just buy something like the Classic Shader 232 from Zoeva. That is going to get you by. But if you want to do more intricate and detailed work, you're going to want a couple different sizes of this one. Next, you're going to want a brush that's going to help you do a little bit more detailed work, and I have a lot of options here, but my favorite is probably this Outer V brush from Makeup Geek. This is red. I'm pretty sure they now make them in silver because, like I said, I've been a Makeup Geek fan from the start. I'm pretty sure this is like the original brush that they came out with, but it is really just a dome-shaped brush, and it is perfect for doing work in that Outer V, hence the name. Another great brush to have is a pencil brush. This is a Sigma pencil brush. brush. This one is from Zoeva, and these again are just gonna really help you do more intricate lines, really carve out that crease, do a dark outer V, line underneath your lash line. It's gonna do a lot of different things for you. So I would suggest either having a dome brush or a pencil brush to do a little bit more detailed work on your eyes. The last brush I'm going to talk about is one I absolutely could not live without, a liner or definer brush. This is the MAC 212. It is the flat definer brush. You've seen me use it before. I use it to really get up next to my lash line. I love this thing. But even more important than having a flat top brush like that, I think, is having a angled liner. This is the Sigma E65 small angle brush. You can use them for so many things. You can use it for lining your under eye. You can use this for eyeliner, if you're doing gel winged liner, if you're filling in your eyebrows. These things are so, so important and very helpful in creating the perfect eye. Winged eyeliner? I could find 100 different uses for them, so I suggest having a couple, because please do not be one of those people that uses this to put on your eyebrows with your brown powder and then immediately follows and does like winged eyeliner with black gel liner. Just say no. Buy 2 different ones. Respect the tools like we talked about in the beginning. Yep, no, I don't want to say anything else. I really like the angled liner brush, if you couldn't tell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, all of the brushes, more descriptions, up close pictures, everything is linked on my blog if you want to go over there and check it out, go shopping, buy some more brushes for yourself. I'm in full support of you. I say, let's do it. Thank you guys so, so much for continuing to share this. I am impressed every single week when I get notifications that people have shared my video. I'm getting the kindest emails full of support from people that I don't even know. I love you. Thank you so much. It really does make me feel so good. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It takes 2 seconds. Just click that little red button and it would seriously make my day. Consider it your kind act for the week for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I will love you forever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye. Beautiful. Good thing these were just cleaned. I get lipstick on your hand.